Good afternoon, Judy Allen here, San Antonio, Texas. And it is hot, right? So the weather hasn't changed. We still have hot weather, no rain in sight. So it's a great time to create some cards and start thinking about Christmas when hopefully it will be cooler here in San Antonio. We'll see. So today we're actually just going to make a simple card, and then we're going to make a stepped up card because the Christmas card is going to take a little bit more detail, but I'm going to show you how you can create your own DSP. Alright? We're going to use some existing DSP, but we're going to add color and do some things differently to it so you have your own Christmas DSP. Alright? So it takes a little bit of time, so that's why we're just going to do the simple, then we're going to do the stepped up version today. But we'll show you more next week with the same stamp set, okay? So let's go down the hands and let's get started. So it has this set has a punch as well as the stamp set, and we're going to be using both. Okay, so the first we're going to do is I've got a simple card we're going to use. We're using Lemon Lolly, and we're just going to use this right here and some bling. Okay, so I'm going to take a stamp set. We can bring bigger ones up, but we'll go ahead and use my ones I used for Paper Pumpkin. And if you're out there, say hello. It's always nice to know when somebody's out there, right? I can't always see you because I'm busy creating, but it's okay. It is okay. So we're going to take this here and we're just going to stamp it. Now I have the truck here. So the truck comes in two pieces. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually stamp this in a darker color. And then I'm going to take the body of the truck and stamp it with a different color. And you'll see why in just a minute. And then we're going to add some to it, okay? So let's get this part at least done. I don't need this part yet. I'm going to set it aside, and we're not going to use the punch right now. This one we're just going to stamp. So this is just a square piece, and I'm actually going to stamp it first. I like to do the body of the truck first. You have to decide what you can do the easiest, right? Because it's all different for all of us. So we can see what that looks like. So that's what I'm going to be doing. And I'm going to make sure I've got good ink on that. Let's see there. Okay, there we go. So make sure I get enough ink on there without getting all over me. So I get a nice impression for you, okay? So I'm just going to come down here, and I am going to stamp it just a little bit below here because I'm going to put some surfboards in here. So I have not had beach. Hello, Debbie. Did you get your order in today with all the new stuff? So I have not had my beach time this year. So I am desperate for the beach. I'm going to make it to the beach. So I've stamped this with here. I'm going to take a little bit darker blue. Not a super dark. I'm just going to take this Zur here. And I'm going to put an outline. Hope you have cooler weather than we do. So the easiest way to line this up is to with the bumpers here over the wheels. If you'll line it here, there's this little white here. So when I line this up, I want it to be just above there, and these little truck wheel things all fall right into place, and you can see where the white lines up. Looky there. Now if I don't like that, I can always go back and do it over black, but I'm going to leave it with that because I haven't colored it yet, right? So it's just really easy to do. Oh my gosh, but you did at least look at the new catalog, right? Please tell me you at least looked at the new catalog. There's way too many pretty things in there. So I'm just going to color this, and I'm just going to use, this is Pebble Path, and I'm just going to color the inside of the wheels right here. And then we're just going to put this on Lemon Lolly. We're going to stamp a sentiment here, and we're going to get some surfboard on here. I was trying to think what else is. I think it's got a floating raft is what the other part is. But it just meant we'll get it on. Get the wheels colored. So what I do here is when I go and we're going to put the, right here you can see there's a surfboard, a palm tree, and all that. So I'm first going to go ahead and get that stamped, and then we'll work on coloring it in with the stamps, okay? So you have to look for the one that is not. So here it is right here. So one has, you can see this has got the images on it, just an etching, and the other one fills it in. So when we go to stamp this, we're going to stamp it right here It goes real nice above the truck. And I'm making sure I got the right stamp. Yeah. So see how it curves right around the truck there? All we're going to do is stamp it right there. And if you're concerned about it, just put your post-it note down. Alright? I always keep handy these little post-it notes. So I'm just going to put it right there, right on the line, right? And then I am going to stamp this in black, because I didn't want my plants in blue. But I thought the all blue truck would be nice. So we're just going to stamp the image. And so I had planned on, so see how nicely that just wraps around the truck there? See? Now take that off. And then you can sit there and stamp in the color. I hear you. I am telling you, it's way a lot of pretty things. So we're just going to take the other one here. And let's clean this off. We're going to get the other stamp. And we're going to fill in at least the trees. I wasn't going to fill in. So you'll see how this is just going to fit right here. Right with the tree. And you're just going to define it and line it up, right? So that, but you can see this is the part that, so you're just looking for the similar image, right? And you're going to line it up just like that, and that's what we're going to do. So, I am going to do the tree in green, and I'm going to hand color the surfboard in the other piece. So you have choices, right? That's a nice thing about this one, that you have choices. Let's see how dark that is. Okay, I'm going to use the second stamp off because I really don't want it that dark. This is because this is going to be a nice, fun, beachy day card. Just to say, bring some sunshine to somebody's life, right? Okay, so it's not super heavy dark, and that's what I wanted. And now I'm just going to color in the surfboard. So I just brought some blending pens to do that with. I did a lemon lolly. You know, I've never been on a surfboard, so this is sort of, I've been on a boogie board, but I have never been on a surfboard. So, I don't know that I ever will either. But the boogie board I don't mind. Surfboard implies I have to go into deep water. And I don't really like to do that at the beach. So, but hey, you know, it's still pretty cool, right? To do a paddle board though, a paddle board would be fine. So there you go. I got my surfboard there. And then I'm just going to take, I missed a little bit on my leaves there. So I'm just going to add a little bit of this here with it, mixed in with this here, with a darker green, because I can, right? There you go, just because I can. So it's really hard to see that little yellow, so I might have to come back. Yeah, and just do it again, right? Until I get it as dark as I want it. So I can do that. Now I did not bring red to do my life preserver, so that's fine, because then I can do my life preserver in blue. But so it's really a flotation device, right? I don't know about you, but when I go to the beach with the kiddos, especially the little kiddos, I like to have at least some kind of flotation device they can hold on to. So there you go. It's ready to go to the beach. So all we're going to do is we're going to stamp our sentiment right here, and it's going to be sending you sunny thoughts. And I am believing that's going to fit. If not, we'll do it differently. So it's not going to fit here, right? Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put sideways here. So anytime your stamp doesn't fit or you're concerned about it, just put it to the side, okay? So I'm just going to go ahead then, and I'm going to stamp sending you some sunny thoughts, right? So I'm going to dip here, and let's see what's my darkest color I got right here, right handy. I got black. Let's do it in black. Because really and truly, if I stamped it with the blues and all, it's not going to look blue going straight on the yellow, right? And that's just the way it works. When you stamp a color on top of another color, you're not going to get the color that you thought you were going to get, alright? So you have to keep that in mind. So if you ever want to know, I mean, black looks black on everything, right? But if I stamped blue on back of this, it wouldn't look blue, right? It would look a different color. So that's why you want to do this. This here, we're just going to put up here with dimensionals, and we're going to put some bling on here, and we're done with this simple card. So the truck is really simple and fun. We made several Christmas cards, because it's easy to make Christmas cards. We did that on the retreat. And we're going to make one today that's going to be similar to what we did at the retreat, but just a little bit different, right? Now when you use these markers, be careful, see how they came through. So you want to make sure, number one, it's not the side that if you're giving the card to someone they're going to see. Number two, make sure you have some paper like this or something behind it so when it bleeds through, it doesn't go onto your counter, okay? So I'm just going to put this right here, and then we're just going to put some bling with this, right? Okay? And I thought I'd do some shiny one, but then I went to this and I thought I really like this better. So I'm just going back to our flat colors. I'm going to use this yellow. It's just going to be nice and cheerful, right? That's all I want it to be, is nice. I'm going to attach this to something for somebody just to give them some sunny thoughts. Oops. And make their day, hopefully. And maybe add a little chocolate to it or a little beach, because this person likes beach stuff too. I got a number of people that like the beach. So this would just be a nice card to send to any of my special peeps or anybody else that loves the beach. So there you go. There is our simple card. All right. Now we're going to step this up to a Christmas card. It's not going to look like this, but it's going to be blue. Okay. That's most probably the one thing they have in common. So the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to create some DSP. So we're going to take, so this takes a little bit of time, right, to explain everything else. So we're going to take this here and we're going to take a ruler. And I've chosen a blue and a silver because I decorate in blue and silver here. And I'm going to do that here. Now I'm not sure how this is going to look next to this, but we're going to see. We're going to start off with this one though. So you have a smaller tip and a larger tip. We're going to start off with a smaller tip. And we're just going to do every other one of these vanilla side, these pieces here, and we're just going to draw a line through it. Okay? Now the best way to do this, now see that looks a little thin, so let's go to the thicker side. So if you're doing just plain white paper, alternating between the thick and the thin, and I'll show you. Here's the thick. And then if you come slightly over and use the thin, you're going to get a little bit different look, right? Because this is going to, the broader one is going to give a heavier. There, so we're just going to go every other one here, all right? Okay, that was the one I told you not to do. Well, yeah. Let me get these lids back on here. All right. Because it was too thin. So I'm just start on the outside. So I like to start, see how I started like a dot right there? So if I start on the outside, the trick to this to me is start outside on your paper and come across, and then you don't have like a beginning dot or mark or anything else that shows where you started with your ink. It's up to you. This just makes it easier so you don't see any beginning and ending lines. See how you can see how the difference is? So that's just come across with your ruler. And we're just going to do that. And we're going to keep on. Now see, that one actually went on heavier than I thought it was, but it's okay. So what I really wanted was try to get some silver in here, and I think this may or may not be what this smoky slate will do for us. If it doesn't, then we won't use it, okay? But we're going to at least get some blue in here, because I have a room decorated for Christmas that's all in blue and glitter and silver. So we actually have some silver ribbon today, twine, that we're going to use with this to help accent it. And we're just going to keep on going down. And then we're going to, as soon as we finish this, we're going to flip the paper. Okay? So we're going to flip the paper this way. And then we're going to use our ruler. Okay? So this time round, I am going to use the thinner line. And I'm just going to use my ruler as the width. Okay? So I'm going to draw a line here. And I'm going to draw a line here. And then I'm going to move it. And I'm just going to keep on drawing some lines. Alright? Until I'm at the end of the paper. You know what? It's like, let me turn it this way. Since that really seems really weird. Okay, so we're going to actually end up drawing two lines, alright? But first we're just getting the first line done here. And yeah, so the 6-inch ruler here will work. Pretty much, that's what I use. But you can use a larger ruler. So it just depends on how wide you want it. I just found that if I use this ruler, it's got the perfect width for me. And just again, by starting off the paper and coming across, I don't have a heavy line. So the trick is, if you do that, you won't have a heavy line at the beginning and ending. And I'll show you if I have a card So what I'm talking about is right here is where I began. And see, I had a heavy little mark just in that one spot. Well, that's what I'm trying to make sure I don't do here. So once we do this, let's see how this is going to look for us. Now see, that's going to pretty much match that. So that most probably is not going to work like I thought. It really would be nice if I had a nice shiny silver metallic ink pen. And I might just have to see if I can find one, because I most probably have one stashed somewhere, just don't know it. So all I'm going to do here now is I'm just going to come across, and I'm just going to come a little bit lower, and I'm going to go ahead with a thicker one then. Okay? So it's going to look like two different things. Same pen, just two different looks, right? Because one's thicker and one's thinner. And then if I get a metallic pen to add to this, that would even make it even better. Okay? So we're almost done with this here, and then we're going to assemble it and put it together. And see, you see where I drew off just a little bit on that right there. You know it, I know it, anybody else that watches the video will know it, but nobody else will. So don't sweat the small stuff. We have a tendency to notice anything that we think is out of order versus other people do not. So that's why we say don't sweat the small stuff, because you're the only one sweating it. Okay, so we have our paper here. Now we're going to put it on the smoky slate. This is smoky slate cardstock, and I'm going to put it on with, I'm trying to think what I did, yes, I'm going to put this on just with some Stampin' Sale. If you're wondering, this is the back side of this paper from Let's Go Fishing. So the truck would look very nice on Let's Go Fishing card, right? So we'll have different things throughout the month that we're going to make with this. But I want to at least get one Christmas card in. I might try to do that each week, right? Because as much as we say Christmas isn't until December, the truth of it is it'll be here before we know it. Alright, so with this, I also used the circle punch. And I created this here, and we're just going to put this up with dimensionals, and we still have some more things to create because we got 2 more trucks to stamp. And we're going to get this up here because this is going to be the basis of how we line everything up. It's like a moon in the background, right? This is the 2 3/8 inch stamp set. Or I shouldn't say 2 3/8 punch is what this is. Not stamp set. Okay, so I have got some extra spare white here, and we're going to stamp 2 trucks. Alright, so I'll just put this aside. We don't need these anymore at the moment. And what we're going to do is we're going to stamp 2 trucks. And I'm actually going to stamp it in the darker blue and black this time. Alright, so I'm going to use the blue that we just did for the body. And we're going to do 2 of these because this truck is going to be toting some carry along packages. So I'm just going to stamp once here, and I'm going to, you see how dark and different that is, right? So if I do this once and then I did it, I was going to say twice. We do that again. Once, stamp first, and here's the second stamp. So if you wanted a lighter color of this, you could do that, right? Okay, just want to show you that. So in order to do what I'm going to do, I need 2 trucks. And we're actually going to use the punch this time after I get the black on here to do the image. And we're going to punch it, and I'm going to show you how to make a trailer. It's pulling a trailer. But you have to do 2 trucks, and we're going to make sure I do not, again, we're going to line the bumper up and the tire wheels and all. And you just stamp it. And there you go. So that's the key here for you. If you line it up. Now some people like to do the outline first, which is fine. I like doing the truck first and then come in doing the outline. Let's see if I messed it up as I was talking to you. I did. Okay, let me stamp that again. So you see I got that one off a little bit. I was talking to you, not quite paying attention as I should have when I was talking to you, but that's okay, right? Let me stamp this aside again. And I was just fixing to say I'm going to move these stamp pads so I don't get ink all over me. Again, we're just going to line it up with the wheels, with the bumpers, everything. Okay, there we go. So sometimes while I'm talking, I really need to pay attention. So let me get some of this ink out of the way. We'll use it again in just a second when we type the sentiment. I'm going to go ahead and get these punched. So when you go to punch this, all you have to do is line this up. So you just want to center it right here, and we'll color the wheels and all. It is easier. I must try to color the wheels now, but I'm going to go ahead and punch it. Okay. So it actually punches out wheels for you. It punches out windows for you, as well as the image of the truck. So we actually, it's also fun just to make some trucks, right? So you can actually make your own trucks versus how we're doing it right now. I'll clean that all out of the way. So that's just an FYI. So we did do some of that, and it is easy, right? So we're not doing that today, but we will show this. So what you want to do to get your pull along truck here is we're just going to cut right here, right behind this line. So right behind that black line, we're just going to cut straight up. And I might could have gone a little bit over, but that's okay. I can come right back here and just finish it off right there. Okay. So yes, I have extra front of a truck that you could do something with if you want. So all we got to do here is we're just going to color the wheels, and then we're going to show you some, we're going to do some presents and a Christmas tree. Now there's a trick to make it easier there for those items too. And we're going to show you that. Let me get this colored and we'll go there next. So with the retreat, I forgot to share the tip, right? Because I was talking and visiting with people, which we like to do, and they like to do. We, you know, that's what it's all about, getting together. Even though we do it virtually, still it's to get together, right? So I totally forgot to give them the tip. It was in the PDF tutorials that I give, but I didn't say it, right? I feel like I'm losing my voice right now. So the tip to this is we're going to go ahead and stamp the tree and the presents. And the presents I'm just going to stamp in black, and the tree I'm going to do a black outline. Okay, so this is the Christmas tree that's in the set. You can color in the tree. I'm going to just stamp the tree and stamp the image over it, but I'm going to stamp the first part really and truly with a block. And then we're just going to fussy cut. But when we fussy cut, what we want to do is we want to leave a little bit of a tail on the end, and that way it's just very easy. When we fussy cut it, it's just very easy if you leave a little bit of a tail of the white at an angle to adhere it to the truck, all right? So we're going to do that, and then we're going to do the presents. Okay, so let me get the presents, and we'll do that, and then we'll turn around and do the filling in. I'm going to hand fill in the presents, but the tree itself, I'm going to stamp in the tree, okay? So, yes, I do have a lot of blocks. So, if you ever decide to do a lot of kits, not paper pumpkin kits, just kits. I'm fixing to do the tree blue. We're not going to do the tree blue. The thing is, you will get blocks, all right? Every kit that's a Stampin' Up kit that requires stamping comes completely, right? Because it is all-inclusive. Everything you need is right there. That's why I couldn't find it. So, when you do that, just keep that in mind and save them, because whether it's just for you and yourself like I'm doing right now, it's very easy for me to use more than one. And then, trying to make sure I get all my little lines. So I'm talking to you. And, you know, you just collect them like we are right now, and it's easy to share when you get together as a group, and so people don't have some blocks, but you can have some extra blocks, right? Okay. And that just makes it easier. Or if somebody needs to even borrow a block, that's okay too. Alright, we're going to get the present one. It's got the outline. That's the fill in the blank one. Maybe. Oh, here it is. So you can always tell it's got ridges, right? And I'm not sure that one's got ridges. Let's see here. But the other one's very flat. Okay, if you're not sure, it's always good to have a piece of white paper. Okay, so that's definitely filling in the blank, and it did not feel like it had lines. So we'll do this one. Okay, there we go. So that's what I'm looking for. Again, I'm going to put it over here. And I'm going to do this side because I'm going to color it, okay? Because I like to do my packages at Christmas time and all. I do all different kinds of colors. I don't stick to just red, right? So that's the same thing today. I do not have to stick with just red. And I'm going to put this aside. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and color this right now. Just make it easier. I've got a blue truck. Let's do some lime green. I do like lime green. And lime green likes me. So let's do some lime green ribbon. I do that at Christmas time. Lime green and bright colors. So you got something in lime green at or if you saw a present under the tree in lime green, you would know that it was a present from me. Because I think I'm the only one that'll use lime green at Christmas time. And then we'll add some blue here. And then we're just going to fussy cut. Wow, this is darker than I was wanting, but that's okay. There's actually a color lifter. It looks like it's white ink, but it's not. It's a color lifter. So it's just very easy. And I'll be able to do that a little bit later to come in there and lighten that up if I want to on this blue. So that is the nice thing. I didn't used to use these too much because of that. But nowadays, I don't bother me as much. So we're just going to, so when I say just a tag, so I'm just going to come, for me, I'm just going to come at an angle here, so don't forget to do it, like I did at the retreat. And I'm just going to fussy cut around. And I don't like a lot of big old paper in my way. And I'm just going to do it like this. And we're just going to come in here and fussy cut along the side of this. And just leave a little bit of white, because we're going to have some color in the background. So that just having just a little bit of white trimmed around it will really help it to really blend in nicely. But you can see we're creating our own colors. So naturally, if I have lime green presents, well, it's not a big surprise that I would have blue. Decor. I do traditional red and green too. Wouldn't you think I don't do that too? But that's the beauty of having different rooms in your house, that you can do whatever you want to do. So, but this is just a fun little thing. Yeah, so it's also, the kit's also got plants, flowers. We've done some cards with flowers. And then here I come to the end. I'm going to just do the same thing I did the other end. So what happens is, when I go to sit there, because this is going to be up on dimensionals, I'm going to do this like right here, and I'm going to do it right now for you can see. So I am going to sit up here and just put some adhesive right here at the bottom. And that's just going, and I could use glue, right? It doesn't matter. I just need some adhesive. Okay? And this just allows you to easily put that tree right here in the bed of the truck. And it stays, and it's going to be up on dimensionals, alright? So then we're going to do the same thing with the presents. We're going to fussy cut. We're going to do the same thing. Hello, Bridget. Is it still hot down there too? Hopefully you guys are at least getting some rain. Alright, so we're going to do this the same thing. We're going to do it at an angle. And trim it out in white. And then we're going to add this one to the bed, the trailer that's being pulled by the truck that we created. Get that extra stuff out too. Okay. So see, it doesn't matter if we're live or we're with friends. We always create a mess, a fun mess, right? A fun mess. I always enjoy that. Yeah, we have to clean up. Nobody's going to come clean up for us. We have to do our own cleaning up, but it's still fun, right? Okay, so we're going to do the same thing with the bed of the truck right here. And then we're going to start doing some assembly, okay? Because we got more assembling to do. That's why I saved this for last. So this is going to come across right across up here, but we're going to add some more stuff here. So if you see in the red one here how I added some stuff, we're going to do the same thing here. So basically the way we got the scallop is right here. And all I did was I just trimmed it right above here. You could do it with your paper trimmer. But this is scalloped contour dies, and this is just a tag. And we're cutting that off. And we have a piece of DSP that coordinates here. So I'm just going to put this at the bottom of this right here. Okay, so I'm just going to put some tape right there, and I'm just going to trim off the extra, right? And we're going to assemble it. Not sure how much I need. But, so when you go to assemble it, we're just going to get it past this line right here. So it's going to go to the edge. It's just going to give it a nice little trim like that. And then we're going to just sit up here and trim this off right here at the edge. Now my original one, I sat there and had another color up there, but I don't have another color today with me. So we're just going to put this right here, and we're going to show a little bit of this right here. Okay? So we're just going to, again, we just need the adhesive right here. We don't need it anywhere else. And we're going to do it flat, because the truck is what the emphasis is going to be on. And we're going to put the truck up on dimensionals. And then we're going to put the bed of the truck on dimensionals too. And then we're just going to stamp the tag. And then we'll be done. So it's going to cross over. So you just need to put your dimensional here and here. Alright, we're not trying to make it like go down the side there. And then we're just going to sort of line this up together, because it's going to be like right here. Okay, so I'm going to put this right here. And then I'm going to turn around and put this up on a dimensional. Again, it's going to go over, right? So we don't want anything to go, we don't need a dimensional and down there. We just need it down over here in the center. In fact, I don't even think we're going to need another one, because that's mostly all that's going to get there. And then we're going to stamp a sentiment and put some silver ribbon, and we'll be done with this card. So again, we're just lining the truck beds up, right? So let's pull in the trailer with the gifts. So the question is, somebody come up to your house pulling a trailer with gifts, what would you think? I would have to say, I haven't had anybody come up to my house pulling a trailer of gifts, but I would be pretty amazed, right? Alright, so let's stamp the tag. And then we're going to put some bling on here, and then we will be finished with this card. So let me find my tag I dumped out. Here's the bling ready for us to put some bling on. And the ribbon. And I'm not sure where I dumped my tag. So we'll just go ahead and create a tag out of this. Let me stamp my sentiment. I'm going to stamp on here, just like I did the red one. We're going to put wishing you a Merry Christmas. And I'll have to just trim around it, because I don't know where my other one is that I created. But I'm going to do it in the blue that I did the truck. And we'll just stamp it on this white here. And you know what? I'm just going to leave, because I don't have my other one that I had made. So I'm just going to stamp this one toward the bottom. And see if we can't keep some of this right down here at the bottom here. When we go to trim this out. I won't be able to keep it all, right? If I center it. So if I center it, I did that deliberately, because I would only have ruffle on one side, and I don't want to do that. So I'm just going to sit there and trim this off right here. So just find a mark like right where one of the scalloped edges ends. And I'm going to do the same thing down here. I'm just going to make sure I got a good full scallop and trim it off. And then I'm going to trim the top, and we're just going to add some bling and some ribbon, and it's a done deal. See, we're just going to go right here. Put it up on dimensionals, give it that height to give it that extra look there. And let's see if we can make a ribbon. Live. Hello, Lourdes. Oh, I'm sorry you lost sound. Don't be losing sound. Nah. Let's get this. So this is real pretty, right? But it's let's say like a little slippery, because right, it's like that got that silver stuff on it, but it's still pretty. It's just the accent I love to do when I do this kind of blue at Christmas time, to give it some silver. I don't know why I like silver and blue. Maybe it's because the holidays somewhere did that. So I'm just going to put this right up here and make it look like it's a present, right? I'm just going to use a glue dot. And if I can't find my regular dimensionals, yeah, here we go. Let's get these guys on here. So while this wasn't the tag I planned on using, I actually like it because it matches the scalloped I wouldn't have planned on doing that, but I really like it now. It's a good thing since that's all I have. So I'll put a glue dot here. You know, Lourdes, if we can't ever do lunch or anything, we can always meet up for ice cream. I know the grandkids would love ice cream. I know Zoe won't refuse ice cream either. Just tuck that just a little bit more. Oops, whoop, whoop. I just have the little peeps here, and they like ice cream too. Oh my gosh, can't imagine anybody not liking ice cream, especially for kids. Alright, so that's that, and then let's put our bling on here. So what do you think? How do you like a blue Christmas? Blue decorated Christmas. I don't know if any of you guys do blue decorations at Christmas, but, right? It's a nice change sometimes. I know I've done it even on my tree sometimes when I get tired of making 50 bows in red. I like to do a nice change sometime. And we just gave it a little sparkle. You know, we give it a little sparkle with ink of Stella here on the tree. The gifts. Be careful. I did too much the other day. It just gives a little sparkle. And just make sure you don't accidentally pick up a little color. Sometimes on the dark colors will pick up a little bit of color. And I'm going to put sparkle on my lime green. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, there you go. And I'm just going to hit these scallops too. Because they'll just give a little sparkle. And there you go. If you want to add more bling, add all the bling you want. All we do is normally we just make sure we do it in odd numbers, right? Not even. So we're not looking for that extra one that's always in the, I'm going to put one up here. Just we got sparkly everywhere. Alright, so besides the mess I created, we get sparkly everywhere. So this is our stepped up card that we did. And there you go. A bling in the center of the bow. You know, it will stay on as long as I most probably would use glue. I can put it on, it'll stay on right now, only because I'm not messing with it. But we can go put one right there and see how we like it. So what do you think? You like that? So yeah, so for live right now, but once we got off, you know what I would do, Lourdes? I would go ahead and take some of the liquid glue here so that it would be sure to stay on when I mailed it. But I think it looks really nice. Looks really nice. Nice and got all the sparkle. And then here's the one for the beach. Sending you sunny thoughts. Oh yeah. So I hope you enjoyed that, right? I didn't do a third one today. I just wanted to sit there and I just want to do the simple because it was simple, and I knew the stepped up was going to take a lot more time, right? And we're not going to go out and make 50 cards of the stepped up one. But, you know, you might make a handful or 10 or so, and you have special people you're going to send it to, and that's what it's all about, right? It's all about creating, sharing, and giving. So go out there, create, share, and give. And if you enjoyed today, be sure to follow us not only here, but also on YouTube. That's where we post our videos. And we also post the photos of the cards on Instagram. With that, be blessed, and we look forward to seeing you next week with Keep It Simple, Stepping Up here on Adventurous Stamping. Judy Allen, checking out. Bye.